So I'm going to explain to you how Future Sight ties in with Inherited Will, specifically Luffy and Joy Boy. The Sea Kings know the exact year when the two sovereigns will meet. Whitebeard said, just as there are some who inherit Roger's will, some will eventually inherit Ace. You can extinguish the bloodlines, but their flames will never be extinguished. It has been passed down like that since ancient times. Someday one will arise who will challenge the world and shoulder hundreds of years of history. Sengoku, you and the world government feel the great war that will come to this world one day. I'm not interested in this treasure, but when it's found, the whole world will turn upside down. Someone will find it. That day will come to this world one day. Now you might be wondering, why do these things sound exactly the same, yet they are completely separate? Well, I'm just about to get to that. My next piece of evidence, Madame Charlie and her magic ball that's able to predict the future. She holds knowledge about Shirohoshi being born in the future, but had less context than the Sea Kings had. Now, on to the next piece of evidence, Katakuri being able to see a few seconds in the future. If you caught on already, you might be asking, hold on, Katakuri is a master at future sight. However, I'll stop you right there and ask you a question. If you've been in something for a long time and finally saved up enough money and bought it, then wouldn't you play with it constantly when it's new? The answer to that question is yes, and that's exactly what Katakuri is constantly using Future Sight 24/7. If you're still doubting me, then let's use Luffy for example. During the first few hours he struggled with Future Sight, but when he got the Wano, he wasn't struggling to use it anymore. And not much time passed in between then. Let me ask you this. If you had most of your life training to see into the future compared to less than a month to train with this, how far in the future do you think you get to see? We saw Charlie at a really young age being able to see years into the future through a ball. If you haven't figured it out yet, let me spell it out for you. If you were training for, let's say, 100 years, then you'd be able to see hundreds of years into the future. That's what I believe Joy Boy did. That explains why people inherit Joy Boy's will, and even Luffy inherit Joy Boy's will, and even free Wano, as well as meeting the future Poseidon 100 years later. Luffy did both of those things, and he is the inheritor of Joy Boy. The Sea Kings knew the exact year, just like Odin did somehow. The Roger pilots always said that they are making a bet, meaning that they don't know if Joy Boy's estimated timeline is 100% accurate, but they do believe Joy Boy because they met Charlie predicting the future prior to this. In short, Joy Boy written on a poneglyph on Laugh Tale what he learned from his Future Sight so people would know that Joy Boy will return. According to Joy Boy's Future Sight, he called the person who would finish his job in the future his real inheritor. The will of D passes on through Future Sight.